Welcome. What did you guys think of the movie? Fantastic. So please give a warm welcome to composer Andrea Dazman. And guys, Andrea went to school here in Santa Barbara. She went to UCSB.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of that?
I'm so happy to be back here with you guys at the Arlington Theater, which is gorgeous.
So, Andrea, Sierra from Mrs. Morris' fifth grade at Monroe would like to know why did you choose
Sierra?
how did you choose to compose this movie?
How did I choose to compose this movie? I had to think about all these emotions, right? So I went and I stood there and I thought, what does anger feel like to me? What does anxiety feel like to me? And I got really quiet about it. And I could see the energy that they had on the screen, right? You see how envy acts, how her eyes get so big, she looks like she's hypnotized, right? So I thought, how does envy feel in my body? And it made me sort of go like this, right? And I heard music while that was going on. So then I just had to figure out how to get that onto the piano and then figure out what instruments I wanted to go into. So I did the same thing throughout. With any scene, like with the emotion anxiety, how did anxiety feel in my body? Felt like kind of zippy and tense. So I got real quiet with it and I thought about, what does that sound like? What does that feel like? Does it feel like I'm running around a whole lot? Does it feel like I'm hunkered down, like maybe embarrassment would? And then you do that for each scene overall.
Fantastic. Do you compose the music before or after the film has been made?
A little bit of both. During, I get to see it when some of it is just stick figure drawings even. You'll see them timed out. You'll see a little bit of a scene and then a couple seconds later, a different part of the scene and a couple just so you get to see the basic idea like a comic strip, but timed out on the movie screen. And then I get to work all throughout that process until I get to see the final thing. And that's when I get to time it out so specifically. So when you see things like in the brainstorm, when there's light bulbs flying into Anger's eyes and mouth, I got to time that exactly. So that we wait till the very end so we get just the right timing.
Alex from Mrs. Rodriguez's fourth grade class at Brandon would like to know how long did it take to make the music in the movie?
I got to think about it a good long time for the first scene. You know that first scene where we're out on the ice with Riley and just kicking some butt and scoring some goals. I got a good while to think about that one, about a month, but the rest I had about 2 months. So overall, I got to be thinking about this for about 3 months.
Excellent. Chloe from Ms. Rodriguez's fourth grade class at Brandon also wants to know how many people did it take to make the movie?
How many people? Do you see? There's still names going.
And look, there is music.
Yeah, and here's my music crew. Oh my gosh, Jeff Kricka, Ben Rice, Warren
How many
Brown.
people?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
How many people are in your team?
On my team, with all the musicians that play as well. Let's see. We've got 68 people in the orchestra. We've got my whole team. It's going to be about 100 something.
Oh my goodness.
But when I'm writing the music, it's just me in a room sitting there like this all day long.
Wow. Did you have to create themes for each different emotion?
That's what I tried to do, yeah. And the composer for the first movie gave me first some themes for joy and for anger. There was a drum thing there, and for sadness. And so I took that and I wanted to add extra themes for anxiety and for envy and ennui. And who else do we have? Who am I missing? Embarrassment. Oh. How embarrassing, I forgot that one. Yeah.
Ruby from Miss Onji's fifth grade at Monroe would like to know, who is your favorite character or emotion and why?
My favorite character is Riley. Is that a cheat? Because then it's all of the emotions? Oh, okay, all right. So I love Riley, but I have I have a lot of space in my heart for anxiety.
You guys like
Yeah.
anxiety?
How did you like? No? No, I understand. Do you think, can I, all right, without yelling, who thinks that anxiety's, just raise your hand, who thinks anxiety's a good guy? There's a lot of hands out there. Yeah. Is somebody who thinks that anxiety is a bad guy? That's a
Oh my
lot
God,
of
the
hands.
majority.
Now, who thinks that anxiety has a good thing to say but doesn't know how to say it right? Yeah, it can be complicated to deal with that, right? I think everybody gets to feel that and not know how to deal with it.
Do you use any fun or unusual things to create sounds in the movie?
I do. Yeah, let's see. Um, I used uh, I used a solo violin, just going back and forth and back and forth until your nails, you wanted to bite your nails until you were so nervous. And I used a backwards piano.
A backwards
A
piano. What is
backwards
that?
piano means you take a, don't do this in your piano at home if you have one. You take the string on the inside and you clip it so it makes a funny sound there, and you record that and then play it backwards. That's just some of them.
Miss O from Monroe wants to know, how did you make anxiety feel so real through music?
A lot of that was getting very quiet and listening to my own anxiety. There's a lot of anxiety going into this, I'd say. You guys know what I mean about that. You've got a good big project coming up and you sort of feel it in your stomach, maybe. It feels tight there. And it makes you maybe want to like do things really fast because you're nervous. You want to get done fast. And I had to sit quietly and think about how that energy felt. Did it feel like hitting things with a drum? Did it feel like playing notes really fast? And then I broke that down into different places, into different ways. Anxiety's, in the end, anxiety has something really good to tell us, right? Anxiety wants to tell us that she cares and she wants to take care of us and wants to make sure that we do everything that we can to succeed, right? But unfortunately, she gets a little wound up and things can go the wrong way because she's not talking with the rest of her team. She's not letting everybody be involved, right?
Right.
So, anxiety changes over the course of time too. At first, you have it in this really excited way. And then she gets sort of to be like a march, right? When she's down there in the projection room and showing the pictures of what could go wrong, you get to hear it going ba 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 da. And it's this message that she wants to tell you that take care of yourself. We have to take care of ourselves. We have to do everything right. And then by the end, it gets so fast. It starts that da 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 da. It starts going so fast and starts going all over the place. It turns into a hurricane of sound, right? And when you get into that hurricane that she's in, she's trying to control the board. All of that, all that sound, I took and put through all these different synthesizer processors. And so it's all this one repeated note, but it sounds like just like the anxiety of or the message that anxiety is trying to tell you is getting all messed up. I took that music and I made it into all different sorts of sounds layered on top of each other. But you could still hear that message that she wanted to say, which is that dun da da dun da da, before joy finally comes in and embraces her.
Brianna, Maddie, and Charlie from Mrs. Foster's sixth grade class at Carp Middle School would like to know what was your favorite scene in the movie to score?
My favorite scene. Hmm. I loved the hockey scene right at the end. There's a lot of favorites. Okay, the brainstorm scene was so much fun. Did you see how many things that were flying through the air that you could just imagine? Yeah, you can just imagine what it feels like to be out there. It's like you're blowing all around, and you've got these different scenes of anxiety also trying to control things behind the scene. It feels sort of magical. So I loved that, but I also loved scoring the hockey scene at the end when Joy and Riley are playing together because you feel like they're back together again, and Riley really feels beautiful and really feels like she's connected to herself.
Guys, Andrea is very, very special. She is the first woman to compose music for a full length Pixar movie.
Hey. Thank you. Yeah.
Um, how does it feel to how does it feel to be the first woman?
Oh, it's a funny question. I love that. I love that I get to be the first woman because then I get to talk to people about it and talk to people about how I love writing music and get to show people that composers can look like anybody. But I especially love it because I didn't think about it when I got hired. I just thought, oh, I'm just the right person to do this job, right? It wasn't, we want a woman to do this, or we want somebody that's a girl because she can think like a girl. It was just really, they liked my music and they knew I could do it. But what it feels really good is that I didn't necessarily think I could be a composer when I was young. I didn't see people around me that were writing music. I mean, I was living in a small town where not a lot of music was being written anyway, but there certainly wasn't anybody that was like me. So it's wonderful to get to show everybody that it's just about music. It's
Um,
not about who you are.
Thank you. Emmett from Miss Berkeley's fourth grade class at Vieja Valley would like to know what made you want to be a composer.
Mm. I like to tell stories with songs. I like to, sometimes I like to do it with words, but you know how you can change your mood just by playing a different song? Just if you're really sad, you might put on a sad song and it somehow makes you feel better. Or if you want to get some energy, you want to get hyped up and go play basketball or something, you play on a hype song. There's something about when you put that on inside of your head and you make it up, you sort of create a soundtrack all the time. So I found myself doing that a lot. If I felt sad and I couldn't put on any music, I would just put it on in my head. And so it was really fun when I got to get onto a piano and see how that could sound. If I went from here to here, it's a sad sound. If it's from here to here, it's an even happier sound.
Jorge from Mrs. Santos' fourth grade class at Liberty would like to know what's your favorite part of making a movie?
Well, the music, of course. No, my favorite part was right now. Gotta say, hanging out with you guys, I gotta do the whole movie just to get right here.
What do you guys think of that?
I love also, I love being with all the musicians on our scoring stage. These musicians are incredible. I work for all these months writing music alone in a room, and then I work with my team and we figure out how each player is going to have the music in front of them when they sit down that day. Make sure everybody has the right parts so they can read from them. And then they arrive and they haven't been able to know anything about this music before they got there. They are such good musicians. They sit down that day and they all play together. And they're incredible musicians. You get to hear things when you go see musicians playing live like that. Has anybody gotten to see an orchestra play before? Do you get to see? Yeah. Isn't it different when you get to go be there live? If everybody hasn't gotten a chance yet, keep in your head. If you get a chance to go see an orchestra play or live instruments go play, go check it out and see how different it is than if you're just riding in your car listening to music. There's something about the energy of the person playing in front of you that's really, really magical. And then you put all those people in the room together and they're playing something that you love. It's like this wave of music and energy coming at you in a whole different way.
Juan from Mrs. Miguelon's fourth grade class at Hapgood wants to know, what was your favorite movie growing up as a kid?
Hmm. I loved Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and The Little Mermaid.
Do you
And
guys like Aladdin?
yeah, love those ones.
What about The Little Mermaid?
Um, and this is one that I'm not sure if you The Last Unicorn. That's a great animated film also. Put that on your list, The Last Unicorn. Or Never
Alexa
Ending
from,
Story.
sorry about that. Alexa from Miss Berkeley's fourth grade class at Vieja Valley would like to know, what is your favorite type of music?
My favorite type of music is anything that somebody shares with me because I love to listen to music that other people want to share what they love about it. Um, Things are special to people in a different way, and so when somebody shares something like that, it's like they're sharing a part of their heart with you because it spoke to them in that way.
Um, is there a sound you have always wanted to use in a movie but haven't yet?
Hmm. So many. Yes. Let's see. I I want to use more voices in like a messed up way, taking. Well, I did that a little bit in this, but taking voices and using it as an instrument, that's a really cool thing to do.
That's
So
great.
get me a movie like that, okay, guys? Does anybody have a connection? Hook me up, okay? All right, thanks. My next agent over there.
What advice would you give to what advice would you give to a kid who wants to start making music?
Oh, you can start making music right now. If you don't have an instrument, if you don't have lessons, it doesn't matter. You start listening to what you like. Think about what you like about it, and you try to recreate it with your voice. It doesn't matter if your voice doesn't sound good. Your voice is still an instrument. It can be percussion. You can just use it like you can use your body. there's no there's something about just starting to put music in your body even before you get a chance to be on an instrument that really moves forward when you may actually get in front of an instrument. But tell the people around you that you want to make music too, because there's people that care too that may help you be able to get it onto a piano or get onto a guitar or a clarinet, anything like that.
Nikolai from Mrs. Santos' fourth grade class at Liberty would like to know, what inspires you?
Nature inspires me, and laughter. when i get when I get too tense, I don't get ideas. But as soon as I go and I laugh with my friends, all of a sudden ideas come to me. If I spend too much time trying to work, I don't come up with anything good. I have to go out and take a run or go connect with somebody. And if once I get a really good laugh, all of a sudden I get so many more good ideas.
How was it studying here in Santa Barbara?
Oh my gosh. foggy a lot of the time. Not foggy, cloudy. It's a lot cloudier here than I thought. I loved studying in Santa Barbara. What I loved about it especially was there were so many different ways that you could be active in the community. It didn't just feel like, well, maybe I wasn't good at focusing. I wasn't a very good student, you guys. um, but hey, I'm still here. Um, there was so much you could learn about the world around you, and there were so many people with lots of different interests. So it wasn't just that the school was great, and they had to be.
And you saw, guys,
Yeah,
she saw movies in this movie theater
I
when she was going
did.
to school.
My teachers had to be very good though, because I did not have very good focus. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Sometimes some people have a hard time focusing. Yeah. So thank your teachers, because they're trying they're trying their hardest to let you learn what you want on top of what you need to learn.
And last question, because they have to get going back to school. Maria Jose from Mrs. O'Brien's class at Liberty Elementary would like to know, will there be an Inside Out 3?
Should there be? Yeah? You want there to be? Okay, let's do it.
Okay,
Let's do it.
you heard it.
All right,
There
let's do
will
it.
be.
I think there might be some good ideas flowing around out there. I hope they do. I can't say officially, but I think we should, huh?
So, guys, let's give a warm welcome, a warm thank you.
Thank you.
And yeah, and we're gonna bring out, guys, we're gonna bring out those cool projects that you guys did. Where are they? Oh, here they come. These are all your school projects, guys.
Oh, whoa, that's so cool. Wow. You guys, hey, you got some great art eyes here. And who is presenting here? Wow. Yes. Oh my gosh.
It's beautiful.
Let's What can you tell me about this?
They come from the different schools represented, and their names are on.
Gosh.
What school made this?
Wow. This is a great job, you
Oh,
guys.
this is Liberty.
Great job, Liberty.
Beautiful.
Riley's eyes are amazing here. Really good contour on the nose, too. Oh my gosh.
Well, thank you again, everybody.
You guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.